Hello everyone. It's been a while. I just wanted to hop on here because I had a pretty meaningful counseling session the other day, and it just hit me how important counseling really is. And I just want to encourage everyone that if you've never tried it, I do encourage you to try it. Or if you tried it once and you hated the counselor, it's perfectly normal to not, totally vibe with someone that you meet and they are a stranger essentially. So if you don't like the first one, I definitely encourage you to try another one. And if it's money, I would say just like set a goal. Like, okay, I'm gonna invest in myself for 6 weeks even. Just do like six, once a week for 6 weeks or something like that. It's like something reasonable that you can think about it like an investment in yourself and just say, okay, like let's say the 6 week trial of counseling, and if your insurance isn't covering it and you had to pay out of pocket, sometimes they'll work with you. And just kind of based on individual situations, you can always talk to them and say like, hey, what is a reasonable way we can figure this out? Can I have like a payment plan or something like that? And just really commit to trying to work on you and taking care of yourself. Because I had this one counselor, I mean, this is the current one, but I've been going to her probably a year or more, and it's life changing. And I only go every other week. So every 2 weeks I go, and even my daughter goes, and my other daughter, and she really helped with like my daughter's nightmares. She helped me with anything current that I was dealing with. It's like she immediately helped me. And yeah, she can't have like the cure all for every single problem of my life, but whenever something was really bothering me, it was like she just had the right things to say, or she had a tool for that exact thing because that's what she's trained to do. And it was amazing. Like she definitely, I don't know, just was like the epitome of what anyone could want in a counselor. So, and I don't know, like that's silly to say, but I'm very passionate about it because of how much it worked for me. And I'm not like advertising or anything. It's not like a paid program or something like that. But I know a lot of people struggle with the motivation. Like, should I go to a stranger and talk about my problems? But it's not about going to a stranger. It's going to someone who's trained in all of these different mental illnesses, all these different traumas, all these different bad things that's happened in your life. They've probably read about it and learned a great coping skill for that exact problem. One would be EMDR. And if you look that up, Google it. And if you do have a counselor, let them know about it and see if they can be trained in it. See if they are trained in it. Because I had never heard of that until this counselor. And I'm in my 30s. And I had been to counseling on and off my whole life. So to not hear about it until now seems crazy because it works so good. It's basically something they do. It's basically an eye motion thing where I follow her fingers back and forth. And then she asks me questions and we kind of talk, but it's basically fast forwarding some processes of your brain. Like you're taking your trauma and you're processing it like 10 times faster than you normally would on any given day. And it really worked for me. It worked for my daughter, and it's amazing. So anyways, I'm passionate because I want other people to be as helped as I was helped. And I wish I could be the one to cure everything for everyone, but I can't be. So I can at least let you know that counseling really does work. You just want to be careful to where you go and, make sure that they are professionals, make sure that they have degrees. Don't just trust everyone, especially if it's someone online. And because, you do hear horror stories, like the online counselors might not really be who they say they are. So just be really careful if it's like online only and you're not actually going to an office and you're not signing any paperwork or signing any privacy papers or anything like that. So just be careful, be cautious of who you trust, and you can always look them up and make sure they're legit. But yeah, anyways, all that to say, I hope that you can heal and heal well and think of your healing process as just a lifestyle, that you are living your life intentionally to heal and to become in a place of peace and joy and happiness, and not just staying stuck in this like hyper scared, hyper traumatized state. You want to grow as much as you can and heal as much as you can throughout your life so that you can live life to the fullest and you don't have to walk around feeling so bogged down by all your trauma and bogged down with all the burdens of life, because life is burdening and life is really hard. And sometimes when you finally feel like you reached the end of your trauma or the end of your healing journey, something else might happen in life where you're like, oh my gosh, it's happening again, or some other thing happened in your life that either brings back the old trauma and you feel like junk all over again, or, it's just something new traumatic happens that you have to work through. So I feel like life is just a revolving door of things. It could be bad, could be good, just things all the time. And just having someone to just bounce things off of is great. Having someone that has all those tools in their tool bag to help you with that exact problem is very fantastic. So, yeah, I just really encourage it. Or, become a counselor yourself and then you'll know everything. But yeah, not all of us can go to school for that and just be that as a professional, but it would be cool to know everything they know, because it has helped me greatly. My counselor just in this last time did something that I had never done before. And she said, hey, I have this book, and it was like 300 prompts, and it was just all these questions. And I was like, okay, like, I don't get it. But she's just like randomly like, here's a piece of paper, open up the book to a random thing and just answer one of those questions. And I was like, okay. So it was basically this question of, what would you write to someone in a postcard to cheer them up? And I was like, I don't know, this is so random. But while I was writing it, it was just like the most bizarre thing. And I always feel like counseling is just like this magical place where all these things come to your brain or you get over something so miraculously. And you're like, what in the voodoo is this? Like, how did this even happen? It's not magic. It's just, it works. It's I don't know what to call it besides magic, but it's science, I guess. Yeah, so I wrote out the note, and she just said, write it to a random person. And the person that popped in my mind was my mom. And so I started writing, and my heart like felt everything I was writing. And I just genuinely wrote a postcard to cheer her up. And then I'm like crying because I'm like writing this stuff that's all meaningful. And it's like, oh, and I'm trying to cheer my mom up, even though like it's not even real. It's just like this made up thing. And she was like, well, would you say all of that to yourself? Would you say that those things are true, or would you say that to yourself? And I was like, yeah, I would. And it's a good like reflection exercise of, how to speak to yourself well and how to encourage yourself, even if no one else is around and you need to get out of a certain mental situation, like, sadness or trauma. You can kind of cheer yourself up when you have the right words to say and when you believe them. Because, I was saying all these encouraging things and like, straighten your crown and like, you got this and you bring so much joy to my life. Things like that I was saying to my mom, but I could also, encourage myself on those bad days to try to get myself back to a happy state and, get myself kind of out of a funk or feeling really sad or feeling really scared. Or when I wake up and have a horrible dream, what are some things that I can tell myself to kind of get myself out of that funk? Because that happens a lot, and it's been happening a lot lately. I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of bad dreams about my past and my perp, and it can be very bothersome. Or I'll see something on social media that's connected to that, and it can just send me mentally in like this weird spiral. So having a counselor on hand is super important. But if you absolutely can't, like maybe you just don't have time to fit it in or whatever, then there are a lot of things on YouTube that are super helpful that I've learned a lot. Just try to make sure you get someone that's a professional just to help you with things. And if something that they say isn't working for you, then don't keep trying that. Like, do something different, do something new to help yourself. And like, I'm just a nobody. I'm just like, I'm not a professional. So like, you don't have to take everything I'm saying like to heart, but if you want to, you can. I'm just a regular person who goes through stuff just like you do, and who fears things and who has been through a lot of trauma, but I'm figuring out a way to get through it and to live life to the fullest without it ruining my days so much. So yeah. But anyways, it was really good. I loved the writing prompt thing. Just random questions in this book that really helped as you're writing. You just kind of work through some things. And as I was writing that, different things in my brain was popping up that was pretty traumatic. And it just brought it to the surface of things I hadn't really thought about in a long time. And it's kind of the point to these exercises, is that it just brings anything that's bothering you out of your body, and you're just writing things out. And then you can kind of work on what else has been bothering you that might just be kind of like floating back there that you haven't dealt with. And yeah, and then it just sprouted all these different conversations just from doing that one reading prompt. I talked about 3 different categories of issues that I had been feeling or that I struggle with, or questions of like, why, So anyways, that was a point to that writing prompt, I believe. And it was really good. Like, it's just really powerful stuff. So anyways, yeah, I'm just a dork and I just want to help people where I can. And I want to tell you everything that I've learned so that you can learn it too. Because if it's taken me this long to learn some of these things, then I would rather you learn it faster and learn it while you're younger so that you can get the help you want and need and be better off and live a happier, joyful life and end the abuse cycles and the psychological burdens that we all have, because when you're healthy, the people around you can be healthier for it. Like, your kids can be healthier, your husband will be healthier, your wife can be healthier because you're healthy, and we're not repeating bad cycles from the people in our past who never got the help they needed, or parents that never got the help they needed, and then we have trauma from them. We can end that by getting ourselves help and really investing in your mind and your body, investing in what's truly important. Because if your mental health is bad, the rest is probably going to be bad. So anyways, I will stop preaching now. Okay, bye, my friends.